Welcome back to the Same Page Book Club. You're reading with Fran, Rhea, Kelly, and Gia, and we're back to recap the favorites in full, part 2. We have finished.
Woo, woo, woo.
It was definitely a quick one. I think we all felt like we wanted to get through that second half quick because we wanted to know what happened. I'm dying to know everybody's initial reactions when they finished the book. What were your, you hit that last page, what were your immediate closing thoughts? Rhea, I'll start with you.
Immediate closing thoughts was not what I would have done. Just
Fair.
because I cannot imagine living in this situation. I just feel like, by the way, though, I liked the book a lot.
Yeah.
I want to start off by saying that. Like, a lot of twists and turns. It was kind of like cheap drama in a way that I was eating up.
Yeah.
Like, I love this kind of cheap drama, so I really enjoyed it. The way that it ends up, though, is just so unrealistic to me. And although I'm sure it does happen, just not I.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was
like
my
Aunt Cat now.
immediate yes.
Which is that kid's
Which
calling you Aunt Cat.
doesn't
Yeah.
really make sense to me.
Yeah.
So that was like my immediate thought, but I also was like, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was like immediate thoughts of just like the book as a whole. Personally, my favorite out of the 3 that we've read. Just because I thought it was just like fun, lighthearted, like not super lighthearted at times, but you get what I mean, like cheap drama, like I said.
Yeah, definitely cheap drama. Kelly, thoughts?
I liked the end. Just in general, I liked that it kind of, there was a few like things they had to go to. I'm glad that Sheila died, not because I like think she deserved to die, but it was like one of those, it gave them something to connect back over that wasn't like competition based, and it was like deeper than just ice skating, you know? I actually loved the most the arc for Garrett. I think I'm happy for him. Like, it sucks he got in that horrible car accident, but it seems like he's better than ever. And I like think that his mom's death and no more ice skating was like freedom for him. And so like, I think I'm ready to say that like Garrett was my favorite character of the whole book.
Yeah, that's so fair.
Yeah.
He seemed like maybe one of the only ones that had any semblance of...
He was like a human, you know?
Yeah, like
everybody else was just kinda
like some
fucked up.
semblance of reality,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
living in the real world.
Yeah.
Gia,
And his sweet
initial thoughts?
therapist boyfriend, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. I liked it. Like Rhea said, definitely my favorite out of the 3. Very good. I liked the second half. I think I liked the first half a little bit more. And I was a little underwhelmed by the ending just because it was like, and now we all live together and we're
agree.
happy and we learned our lesson.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
I
don't
also
know.
could never fucking do that either.
Yeah,
I'm
just,
with
like,
you on that.
unrealistic.
No way, no way.
Yeah, I kind of felt like one of them deserved a little bit of like comeuppance. And maybe the baby is Cat's comeuppance, but that's a beautiful comeuppance. You know, it's a child.
Yeah,
So,
could
but
be
like,
his
I don't know. I
things.
just feel like it almost was like packed up so nice and tight that it felt like it was kind of like, all right, well, we went all this way just for her to realize that she like didn't need skating. Like, it was almost predictable in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I almost feel like, well, Fran, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I will agree. I think I was a little underwhelmed by the last fourth of the book, I would say.
Yeah.
I think it all felt a little like the last competition, all of that felt a little rushed to
Yeah.
me. I don't think we got enough time for Francesca to be like the thought out villain that she ended up being.
Yeah.
I think it was there, but obviously that was supposed to be a surprise. It was like, oh, little Franny
Yeah.
actually was. So,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
just like
yeah.
all happened really fast.
Yeah. Were you
And
surprised though? That was another one where I was like, obviously.
No,
Like, I just felt like everything was
I
so
wasn't
laid out in a way that
necessarily
was like, yeah, of course
surprised.
it's her.
But it was like when they started getting shit left at the door and the flowers and stuff, I was like, oh, the call's coming from inside the house. Like it's probably, if I was the rest of the U.S. team, I'd hate their guts too because it's like they just popped back in, decided that they were going to go to the Olympics. I'd hate that too. Now they took it to the nth degree for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and maybe I'm just mad that that's what happened, which like left a sour taste in my mouth. Because at that point, I was like, okay, if you're gonna give us sort of this happy ending, and they get a gold medal, like they win but they don't win, I'm like, just give me the happy ending, you know?
Yeah.
Just give them the fucking real gold medal.
Yeah.
Like, let me have the satisfaction of them actually winning gold.
Right.
And then something could happen. I don't know if that's like, if that would have just been too easy and not as dramatic for that to happen. But at that point, I was just like, at least give Cat the gold after
Yeah.
all
The
this
hearing
shit.
was
It's like,
infuriating.
yeah.
The hearing part with that old lady
yeah,
again.
and I was
that
just
old
like,
lady
she just,
so
they all,
annoying.
and I get it, that's part of her journey is that she was disruptive and they all really hated her for that. And there's like a deeper meaning into that on why that is. But at the same time, I thought, they've had so many ups and downs. All this work they put in, they're making the big comeback. Can't the ice dance world just love them for 2 seconds?
I know.
Yeah, I almost felt like you said, either give us the happy ending or give us like a shitstorm of
Right.
an ending. Where if they take away the gold, I almost just wanted Heath and Bella to be together.
Yeah.
instead, because
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
you know what?
yeah.
Give me like a wild
Yeah.
ending where like they don't end up together
Yeah.
and they don't get the gold and
Right.
it's all just
or
a
even
fucking
they get
mess.
the gold and he's like, I'm
gonna be with Bella. Yeah, like I think even that. So you're right, like
Yeah.
the way that it's just like bundled so nicely, but still, I don't think, even though Kat comes to the conclusion like I don't need a medal,
Yeah.
she still never comes out on top. Like I think everyone else is sort of like a winner,
Right.
whereas like Kat, who I think is maybe like the least evil of the bunch,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
think they all have traits that are sour about them.
Yeah, yeah.
She's just like does things in fight to win.
just wants
like
to win.
hers
Yeah.
is just in pursuit of winning.
Yeah.
Which I think they all are. None of them really have, I think, real bonds besides winning at this point. Even the bond that Heath and Kat once had when they were younger, I think, goes out the window when it comes to just like
Yeah.
everything is now shadowed by by winning. But still, I think she never really comes out on top. Like it's like
Yeah, I feel
now
like
She
Yeah.
gets her own like need to win or whatever prevents her from doing just that. Like she can't get out of her own way, just personality wise. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like even when like when they found out that he's got these like pills or whatever, and they may or may not be good, and blah blah blah, and like they should have pulled out. Like
Yeah.
that should have been the moment that they pulled out. Whatever, because if they weren't performance enhancing drugs and we're dealing with the Russian mob and pills,
Yeah.
it's like then maybe it is something more sinister than that.
And that
she
felt
just
like a
doesn't
decision
care, you
that
know?
she wouldn't have, like, I don't know where that epiphany came from, because in any other instance of how her character has been in the book, I felt like they would have immediately caused a giant fit about it.
Totally.
Like, it's like not,
I would've
like all of a
preferred that.
But it's
I
like
would've
all of a
preferred
sudden,
that.
the way she was like, we're gonna get knocked for this, but let's just skate anyway. Like
Yeah.
that surprised me.
Yeah. Agreed.
But
That
yeah,
to me
you
was, like,
started to,
selfish.
you did start to kind of sense it, because when she said that she had taken a pill and felt nothing, I was like, oh man, those aren't good. Those aren't what you think they
Those
are.
are
There's
tampered
something
with.
going on. Those are definitely tampered with.
But it's also like it's impossible to prove it. So like
Yeah,
even
it
if
is
they did make
impossible.
a big like chutzpah about it, like how are they supposed to prove that the Russians have been fucking doing
and
them
this was
dirty
just
this
at the
entire time
end.
in
They
Russia?
were
In
never
Russia,
going to make
right.
it. They were never going to make it another 4 years too.
No,
It's
no.
just- So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I think it was fair. This is our last chance.
Like we might as well just fucking do it because we're
Yeah.
here
Yeah, I guess.
and we've been training for this, whatever.
I
Like
guess because in my head, it's like she knows that they're fake. And so they're either a placebo, which means that his back is in pain and he
Yeah.
is like literally can't move. But she's like, whatever, let's skate anyway. It's like, girl, his back is broken. Like,
or
Well,
it's
her
what
foot-
pills aren't
but so
working.
is
or
his-
it's whatever
her
it
foot
is
is
that like
fucked
makes his
Yeah.
like lung collapse or whatever the heck
Right,
happened. And,
right.
I mean, I when it said that there
thought he
was like
died.
blood in his mouth, I,
I
was
thought
like,
he died too.
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
dead.
I was like, he's
like,
gonna
he's
die right
dead.
there on the damn ice.
I was kind of waiting for it too, because of course with all the Wuthering Heights
Yeah, same.
connections, I was like, is she gonna stick to this and he's gonna die?
I thought for sure.
Yeah,
as soon as he
yeah.
started
You know?
coughing up blood, I was like, he's gonna die. Every time she's on the ice, there's blood all over the ice. Like,
Yeah. That was a very
it's-
common theme.
Every single time she's on some kind of podium, there's blood
Man,
on the
and
ice.
I learned a lot about ice and skating just in general. Just that,
The
one little
smallest
sequin,
sequin.
that's all it takes.
Oh, yeah.
To
Oh,
send
yeah.
everything into
So much
its
sabotage.
Really
Sorry.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Like when
Really?
you're watching.
Clearly, you've not seen Blades of Glory.
Yeah,
when
yeah, fair,
Amy
fair,
Poehler
fair, yeah.
breaks her pearl necklace as Marilyn Monroe, and the
Yes.
single pearl
Yeah.
derails the entire
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes me think about this past Olympics, though, when everyone was falling. I was like, what was on that ice?
right.
Totally,
You do.
totally.
It definitely makes
Yeah, they
you
said
think
like the
that.
ice wasn't properly like hard or something.
whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, how about that proposal too?
Oh yeah, just
Oh my
that's next
God.
on my list.
Okay.
Ice proposal.
The proposal was so. By the way,
crawling out of my skin.
I just like didn't see it coming.
No, me neither.
Which
No,
is
I didn't
okay.
see it
Like,
coming at all.
I
didn't
did
think he was gonna do
not
that.
see that coming,
No.
and it, like you said, like literally made me crawl out of my skin because number one, it was like, okay, does he love her? Is he doing this for show? They're kind of leaning into everything. Number two, I mean, we saw in real life somebody get proposed to, but it was like what she wanted. She talked about
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
She told
yeah.
her, like. Kat had no idea that this was coming,
Yeah.
and especially in this moment, oh my god, I was horrified.
Like, do you know her at all?
No.
Right.
That is not
you.
what she. Bless you. That is not what she would want. Like,
No.
she clearly is like my personal life is my personal life. My skating life is top priority. Like, even when she clapped back at that interview, was that before or after the proposal?
After, because it was
After?
being like,
Yeah,
what's
it's like-
after the ice? You're
Yeah,
gonna
she's like-
have babies?
Yes.
Or
She's
whatever
like, I'm
the
about
fuck.
to do like the most
Inez.
important competition of my life, and all these people are asking me is about like babies and marriage and all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like that just showed me how much Heath does not like, even though he knows every part of her and like has known her since a child, like he doesn't get her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Garrett
Yeah.
even
Yeah,
knew
Garrett
that that's
said
it.
not
Yeah.
something that she would want. I mean,
He was just projecting everything
Yeah.
that he
Yes.
wanted. Like he had that sense of family from her, which he never had it at a young age. So they have such a deep bond, but at the same time, he was projecting like this family that
Yeah.
he never had, that he wanted to have with her, but she didn't really want those traditions.
Yeah, and feeling
which is why
insecure
it
about
is
the
so
relationship.
interesting that it's like, oh, they did try and wrap it up as like Kat gets the guy kind of,
Yeah.
but he still gets a kid.
Like,
even
you guys
though
are a
Kat
throuple?
doesn't want to be a mom.
yeah, it's literally like they
yeah.
end up with a throuple.
Yeah.
And then also on top of that, fucking Bella, just being like, congratulations, like not for the marriage or for your winning. It was like, was a nice sentiment. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
being a
obviously,
good
like,
friend in that
she
moment.
was being a good friend in that moment,
Yeah.
but obviously.
But she's a shit friend in
Yes,
general.
in
Yeah.
general.
I think she became a better friend later.
When she fucked
but-
Heath
Yeah,
multiple times
I know,
and then
yeah, I
break with him.
know, but like,
Oh, when she fucked her best friend's
Yeah.
fiance.
Yeah.
And then 5 seconds after she threw the ring at him in an angry
Yeah.
storm.
Yeah.
out.
And
I
again-
think so.
yeah.
Bella
And again, where they
sucks.
were like, when she was like, she's pregnant, I'm like, wow, they were really sneaking around.
Yeah, the timeline was
Yeah.
very confusing.
They really sneaking
yeah, I was
around.
wondering how
Because
many
it
times
wasn't
they'd
just like
actually
that
hook up.
night.
No, yeah.
Because
No,
then
no.
that wouldn't add up to her,
No.
you know?
No, in the Heath does the timeline in those like things afterwards where
Yeah.
he's like it was like a year or two after Sochi is when
Yeah.
they came home, and then he's been working at the thing for a while and has been like hanging out with Bella, and they were friends and they had hooked up there, but it was never anything but that. But then their romance reignited because she brought him to an Adele concert because Garrett
Oh, the
couldn't
Adele
go.
concert.
Right.
And so they were at the concert.
I
and
forgot
Keith-
about the Adele concert.
Keith is like, oh, we were on the floor and it was so packed, and my hands ended up on her waist, and then my fingers touched underneath her shirt. It was a total accident, and then like one thing led to another.
Yeah.
and then he talks
slipped and
about,
fell in.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then he talks about how he like doesn't know. Wait. He was like, I don't know relationships. Oh, doesn't know how to have casual sex. That's what he said. He's like,
Yeah.
I've only ever like been with you, Kat. He's like writing to Kat in this thing, and he's like,
Yes.
I'm like learning how to have casual sex, and Bella was like, we don't have to. This isn't like life-ending love. Like we can just hook up occasionally.
Yeah.
So that was,
Yeah.
and then so they just continued to hook up occasionally.
we were talking about this before, but I did not really like hearing his perspective.
no, I hated it. It made me hate him. I didn't have any real thoughts on him except for he was
I
brain dead
didn't really
until
feel that passionately about it, and then
Mm-mm.
reading the letters at the end, I was like,
Didn't like it
oh,
at all.
Yeah, I
Oh,
feel like that was
this.
kind of
He
unnecessary.
just seemed. It just made him seem crazy.
It
I was
just
like,
it
he
made me
needs to be
happy though
medicated.
that that was just saved to the end, and it wasn't a book that every
Yeah.
chapter
Yeah.
changed perspectives.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because
Same.
like thinking about this realistically, which I know is not realistic because it is a book, but like how does Kat not think like, oh, Bella and Heath will sneak around again while we're all living together?
for sure.
I would never
sure.
be
You know,
able
like,
to
it's
trust.
just-
Never in a million
I
years.
would never be able to trust them ever
No,
again.
never,
No way.
never.
Well, they said that
must have
she's
some
got
sort
a
of
new
agreement.
she's got a new man though. Bella
Yeah.
is like dating a chef or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like
Oh,
a guy
right,
who
right,
makes
yeah.
espresso or whatever.
Right,
But yet
yeah,
still,
yeah.
I don't.
The
even
best
still, I'm like,
espresso in the world.
yeah, like okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And
it was
everybody's
just-
out here making espresso.
I know, it was just very interesting because it did really feel like, I guess that kind of ties into the parallels with Wuthering Heights, is that they just never really fully get what they were out to achieve.
Yeah, they never figured
Yeah,
it out.
you
Yeah,
know?
they never figured it out.
They
How
never
about,
really figure it out.
How about what's his face bringing Sorry,
the brother,
I feel so
Lee.
bad. The brother,
Yeah,
yeah, bringing
Ellis
Lee to
bringing
the
Lee.
event. Ellis bringing Lee to the
Yeah.
event. And that mess.
Oy.
What a
Real
fucked up move
shit
by
story,
Ellis,
that
honestly.
guy, Ellis.
Ellis
And then he
was
tries,
really-
and then he tries to
I
like
liked
save
his
the day at the
character, but-
Olympics.
Yeah, he's
to
my
being like,
favorite,
stay in my
but then
hotel
he's so
room.
shady. I'm like,
He's really
this is
shady.
shady.
By the way,
Yeah.
I went to go listen to some of the audiobook because I really wanted to hear Johnny
Weir
Weir
doing
doing
Oh yeah,
it.
he's perfect.
So fucking perfect
Yeah.
for this part.
I
Like
know.
listening, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
I know, and in my head when I was trying to, we'll talk about it, but I was trying to think of who I would cast in these roles, I was like, it's just him. Like I
It's Johnny
can't.
Weir.
It's Johnny
I
Weir.
know,
It's just
yeah.
it really can't be anybody else.
Yeah.
Just it does just make so much sense. And to think that there was just this crazy like ice dancing blog.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, I know. Right, but
Kiss and
which is-
cry.
in my head, I always had just pictured that as like a Perez Hilton.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it seems like it became solely for the ice world. Like it was just for the ice.
It did, because then it was like, what was
Like how does he have
what
enough
was the
content?
breaking news? Oh, Heath's passed, that he was in Russia training, whatever, and that came out right before
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
nationals,
yeah.
and they didn't skate, and like in the documentary style, Kirk was saying, oh, like there were rumors, but we didn't want to say anything on the broadcast. We didn't know
Yeah.
for sure, so it felt like Ellis was always getting stuff out, but maybe it wasn't going super mainstream until that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Until then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
The paparazzi followed them around till the end. Like
Yeah.
when they reunited and they were like, "There's cameras over there." I was like, "Wow, people
They're
were really
famous.
people
People
were
were
really
into it.
obsessed with them."
When they
Yeah.
stop caring is when, when you have to
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Also, so crazy that Kat like low-key thought that Heath killed Lee.
yeah,
I low-key thought that.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
one thing that I was
That-
like,
honestly,
is
that
this about to take a
never-
murderous turn? But
yeah,
that
but
never-
she kind of made it seem like he was capable of that, even
Yeah.
when they were young, when they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
16, and he was like,
For sure.
Yeah.
she was like, "I don't know, if he gets his hands on him,
Yes, yes.
it could be over."
In
Yeah.
the very beginning.
In the very beginning,
That is
yeah.
true. She was like,
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
If he gets his,
yeah, like if he gets
Yeah.
his
It
paws
also-
on Lee,
Yes, yes.
it also made it like the way that she had described Lee and Heath's relationship was always like it was going to eventually come to a head, like either a bitch out or a yelling fight or something. So like for him to not even really engage while Lee was there,
yeah.
I was surprised by that. I was like, why isn't he more involved in this? Like I thought that they were going to get in a fight. I was like,
Yeah.
they're gonna brawl in the room or whatever. But then when he storms off into the park, like because it was New York, right? That's
Yeah.
so I was picturing it in my head, like they're staying on the edge of the park.
Yeah.
He goes into the park. The murder version in my head. It's like he walks into the park, he's hanging out there, Lee stumbles out, he's drunk or fucked up on drugs like he was or whatever, and then they run in, have an altercation, kills him in the park. Like I was like, yeah, of course, that
Yeah.
makes total sense. And he shows up hours later, soaking wet, like
Yeah.
can't even speak or take his clothes off or whatever. Like it just, to me, that spelled out murder, but
yeah.
I wasn't
There
lucky
were-
for that. Lucky
I
enough.
felt like that there were a couple of chapters in the middle that definitely could have been shortened a little bit just to like get
Yeah.
to the ending
Yeah,
a
because the
little
ending
bit.
was a little rushed.
It did felt rushed towards the
Yeah, I
end,
agree.
but there were like a couple chapters that I felt like were a little drawn out. I thought the whole Paris escapades were funny, like them just
Yeah.
being like all
Yeah, that was
over each
cute,
other,
yeah.
and Paris was cute, and they were just like, fuck Sheila, we're just gonna be like be all
Yep.
sexy and in love.
Yeah.
right.
They're like,
Their big
because they were
stance.
like the way that they were like describing their ice stance becoming like so sexual, like they would step away, but then it was like they couldn't be away from each other and they had to be closer, and like people thought it was a mockery, but they ended up winning
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah.
The skating world really is so crazy to me because like, what do you mean all these teams have the same coach? Like it seems so crazy to me, and this is a totally different instance because it's her kids. So it's like Sheila's coaching her kids, and then how it goes separate. Then they still want to. It's like, how are you supposed to believe that your coach believes in you when and she's always going to want her kids to win over you? And even like watching the Olympics in February, I was cracking up because they all have the same coaches, and there would be videos that were going viral of the coaches for every team that would go out. They would change their jacket to the country. So it'd be like, okay, puts
That's
on the
so
USA
crazy.
jacket,
Yeah.
puts on the Canada jacket,
Yeah,
puts
yeah.
on the Italian jacket. Like they change because there's only a few coaches that like coach everybody.
Right.
It is really insane. And if you think about it, you would have to be like, because like you said, she's rooting for her kids unless she's a devious mother who actually does not want her kids to succeed and is rooting for the other teams.
Right,
Like
right,
it's all so dramatic and
I wish we got
manipulative.
Sheila's point of view. I
would
do.
have loved
Yeah.
her
And
point
when
of
she
view.
died, I was like, okay, you know, that makes sense. But I had hoped maybe there was going to be some sort of conversation with
I
her
agree.
towards the end that would have been a little more eye-opening on her mindset.
I feel like she could have died at the end.
yeah.
Like I feel like we could have gotten a conversation that like kind of ends with her dying.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't mind that when Kat like stormed up to her hotel room and like accused her of all that shit, which ended up being true. Like I thought
Yeah.
that was the realest version of Sheila, and I had kind of wondered like why didn't Kat do that before then? Like I
Yeah.
feel like why did
Yeah.
it take that to go and talk to her?
Right, because I think Kat just like
They
really,
just-
you know, was so obsessed with her, just like really looked
Yeah,
up to her.
true,
And they
true.
just all have such miscommunication issues and like
Ugh.
bottling
Yeah, a lot of
issues. They
miscommunication
just
issues.
bottle everything until it explodes.
Yeah, there were some discussion questions at the end
Ooh.
of the book. I don't know if you guys saw them. Some of
I
them
did, but I
are
ran
things
time.
that we've already naturally talked on and
Yeah.
probably don't need that much discussion on. You know, like there's a lot of comparisons, inspiration from Wuthering Heights. But
Right.
we've talked about that a lot. But I thought this one was interesting. Kat loves Heath, but she loves skating even more. What was it like for you to read a love story where one of the leads prioritizes something else over her love interest?
Oh, I loved it.
yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
like-
Can you say it?
it was like-
Can you say it again?
What was it like for you to read a love story where one of the leads prioritizes something else over their love
Oh,
interest?
yeah, loved it as well.
Yeah,
I
like
think
it's
refreshing
not
to see
just
that.
about
Yeah.
the guy
sure.
or the girl.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
They
why
have
I
other
would have
things.
liked her to win the medal in the end,
Same.
so that it was
I really
like
wanted her to
at
win
least
the
you
medal.
know
That too.
because she
Yeah.
does end up with Heath, but it's like so she doesn't get the medal and then she
Yeah.
gets Bella's kid.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, she really doesn't get anything at the end of the day.
That's why I was just so shocked by the proposal too, because like it's just so evident that skating is Kat's love. Nothing will ever
Yeah.
come above skating.
Yeah.
So why would Heath ever try to put himself on an even playing field by doing the proposal while she's doing the thing that
Yeah.
she loves, like the
Just
thing that
an
she
inse-
takes
Yeah.
the
just
most
an
serious.
Insecure, that's what
Insecure
it's
man.
man. That's what
And
happens.
yeah, that's why I
had-
loved her mentality.
There's sorry, this is like it's on topic but kind of random. But Viola Davis was just on Amy Poehler's podcast.
Love
Oh, yeah, I
and,
saw that clip.
And she spoke to Julius, her husband, before. And she was asking him about their relationship and, you know, they've made it so long in Hollywood, all these things. And he, like, I like stopped in my tracks as I was walking Olive listening to it because I was like, hell yeah, Julius.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
was like, look, here's the thing. I can support her because I'm confident in myself. I know
Totally.
who I am as a
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you need to know who you are. You can't be trying to love and support someone else when you don't know who you are. He's like,
Exactly.
I know who I am and what I provide as a man, and I'm confident in that.
Oh, yeah.
And literally, like Amy Poehler fell out of her chair. She goes,
Yeah.
she was like, Julius, yes. She was like, hell yes,
Amazing.
the
Julius.
thing is like that should go without saying,
Yeah.
but like
It
you
should,
know,
but it doesn't.
It
No,
doesn't,
it
but
never
like
does.
that is
Especially
like
not then, that time
Yeah.
frame.
Yeah,
right.
like-
And I thought that was so like is a good parallel to this because Heath does not know his own identity at all. In
But I
this
think that also
situation.
comes
so tied to
from
Kat.
the way he grew up.
Yes.
You know, like
Yes.
a lot of it comes from that
Yes,
as well.
definitely.
Yeah.
But it's like getting to that place, and it feels hopefully eventually that he did get there at the end because it's like certain things I think he realized he wasn't willing to give up, maybe being a father and
Yeah.
those kinds
Yeah.
of things that he really wanted to
Yeah.
to have. But it's so true. You
what did
want to
you-
have a lead that can have multiple passions.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
What did you think about what he said in the letters where he was like talking to Kat, implying that her intimacy, like he had already skated with Bella before and he felt that that was more egregious than having sex with her because the intimacy of being your partner in skating was like more scathing for Kat than like literally having sex with her and having a kid with her.
Well,
Right,
I think that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
based off Kat's
yeah. It does
personality,
seem
like
to
it
be
makes
honest, it's
sense that
probably
she would
almost
be
even-
more pissed
yeah,
about that
bigger of a
than
Right.
betrayal.
Totally.
To hit
Yeah.
the ice and
Well,
hit
it
That's what he
is.
says. That's what he
It's
says. Yeah. It's like only we can hit the ice together.
Yeah, and I think that shows how much Kat prioritizes skating over anything else in her
Yeah.
life. It's like I don't care who you fuck as long as you dance with me on the ice.
Yeah,
for
sure,
sure. As long as we dancing.
There were questions of, what roles do race and class play in the novel? How does it affect the themes and the characters? I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's present throughout the
Yeah.
throughout the book. One, I think it gives us an insight into the skating world.
Yeah.
That how, feel like skating has prejudices and all and all that because Heath was definitely not accepted.
Yeah,
No, no.
and even Kat, like I feel like her growing up in a very like the
Yeah, the
lower
money.
class world with no
Yeah.
money,
Yeah.
like that. Even though she became rich and successful and all those things, I think that followed her.
Yeah, definitely.
Throughout the whole
Definitely.
story, no matter how much she changed and no matter how much money she got, like she was always looked
Yeah.
down upon because of where she came from, her attitude, her like the way she presents herself. And I think all those bias stem from her being poor.
Yeah. It made
and
a
also
lot of
stays
sense.
with her too, and it stays
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
Heath as
yeah,
well.
sure,
Like,
for
no
sure.
matter how successful they get, like they're never gonna let go of like their upbringing, how they were treated. Like that's always gonna stick with them.
Yeah.
It's like they've always got something to prove. I mean, Sheila Lynn, same thing. She grew up like, poor and broke, and so she was so intense.
Changed her name.
Changed
Yeah,
her name.
changed
Like
her-
she was like running from her past. I would say though that like, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just didn't notice while reading. The class separation was definitely the most prominent.
Yeah.
I don't know if I noticed any besides the moments where people weren't liking Heath, but I always just
Yeah.
kind of thought that was again like a class thing. I don't know like where the race part came into it. Did it really a lot? I feel like I didn't
think
notice
with,
that.
I think with Heath, yes, and there was probably more instances when they were younger and getting
Yeah.
into the skating
Yeah.
world.
Sure, yeah.
And then it came off of judgment from definitely a class situation.
Right,
I thought
like
I thought it made a lot of sense for them to make Francesca from like a really rich family that
Yeah,
donates
yeah.
a lot
Yes.
of money to
Yeah.
US
Money for
skating.
sure. Yeah, like all that
and that's
shit.
like money and influence. It's like, oh, no one's gonna believe that Francesca would do something like this
Right.
because
Yes.
because she's a rich white
and,
girl.
and because
Yeah.
and because it would put that donation in jeopardy. Like
Yeah.
they would never put
Right,
that
right,
in
right.
jeopardy, which I thought came into play a lot as well.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I
Heath
can
gets,
only
like,
imagine.
stopped at the TSA, right?
Yeah, there was something at the beginning that it said they were flying
They, like, patted him
right
down
after
extra?
it was like right after 9/11, I think.
Yeah.
And that he was, getting looked
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
looked at
yes.
in weird
yeah.
ways.
yeah,
and
yeah.
we didn't get to see those years when he
Yeah.
was away
Yeah.
and had quote unquote disappeared. So who knows what is going on there, because I can't imagine he was very accepted in Russia either.
No,
like
they
it's
didn't
like-
like him.
And definitely the way
yeah,
he talked about
yeah.
it or
And the-
didn't
yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
it.
or didn't talk about
They
it,
said
so
they
would
had
have
a
never
lot of
talked about it.
letters.
A lot of conversation too about when they were in Russia, which I appreciated them including, about how like bigoted they are and how
Yes.
other teams, like I thought it was a good like tidbit that they included of Francesca not just like giving the non-political answer of
Yeah,
like
yeah, her
we're
and her
just here for
partner.
skating.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not
when-
going to get into politics when
yeah,
they're talking about
when Cat
like
and
gay
Heath were
rights
just, like,
and
gay
everything.
rights
in
are
Russia.
Yeah,
you know, it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's the
yeah.
it was like the worst.
Yeah, that's
It's
so
like, of
true.
course,
I was like,
Francesca would be
hell
like
yeah,
that.
Cat and Heath.
Yeah.
Me too, right?
Get right.
Well, they
Yeah.
got Garrett in the back now.
Yeah,
you know?
true that. True that. True that.
Gotta stand up for the fam.
Yeah, true.
What did you guys end up thinking of the sort of documentary style writing that was in it, cutting back between chapters, that Daisy Jones and the Six kind of vibe?
I ended up liking it a lot more
Yeah.
than I thought I was going to. At the beginning, it was a little hard for me to kind of jump in and out, but by the end, those were my favorite parts. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I could have just, like, I almost wanted
Were
only
you,
that.
well, it made you want to watch it. Like I
Yeah,
was like, I
very much
really
so.
want to
Yeah.
watch this
Yeah, yeah.
documentary.
It added so much
Which
more
I
to
liked.
the story
Yeah.
because even though it's not like direct perspectives from each character, you get the tidbits of what their thoughts were during that time.
Yeah.
And it also adds like some humor to the story and some extra, information that you wouldn't usually get. Like I feel like I wouldn't like Ellis as much as I did if we didn't have the documentary
totally,
part.
Totally. Because
Yeah.
he was funny in those.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he wasn't just an evil
I agree
bitch.
with that too, and it
Yeah,
helped
definitely.
visualize it more. And I definitely think it helped me like
and
Ellis
it makes
more,
it
yeah.
almost more like relatable.
Yeah.
Like at the end when the girls are
'Cause
talking
they were all,
and they're
like,
like, we
passing
watched the
judgment.
documentary.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you see that Coach Shaw did this?
Right.
Like,
And it felt just
I
like
could
gossip.
see
Yeah.
exactly like a Netflix documentary
Totally.
coming about the two ice dancers, and then everyone's
Totally.
talking about it.
Yeah. Very
fun.
gossipy in the sense you saw what the shit Ellis was doing in real time, but then when it came to that Olympics, he was like, Francesca obviously did it. Like it's like you can see
Yeah.
what side they
He did,
all.
he did like kind like weirdly
were
have their
on.
back
Yes.
always,
Yeah.
but still like
blog came
told everyone
first.
their
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like he would never keep like anything secret, but he did always like he was always
Yeah.
on their side.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, totally. He really helped them out at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did,
definitely.
yeah.
This quote was included in the discussions and honestly sums up Kat's character extremely well. When I was strong and self-assured, people recoiled from me. They told me I was too competitive, too ambitious, too much. But when I was brought low, bruised and bleeding, a princess in need of rescue instead of a conquering queen, they loved me. It was like, yeah, it was like, oh, they wanted her wrapped in Heath's arms and like not standing on her own 2 feet and the whole. It's just so.
I was also thinking about like the timing of this story because it's like the early 2000s, 2010s.
Yeah.
Like
so fitting.
Makes so
fitting.
much sense for
And
time.
especially the part that where she like sticks up for herself against Inez when she gets asked about the pregnancy and marriage thing and she flips on her. I was like, nowadays people would be like, yes, queen, clock it, whatever.
totally.
Like back then,
Well, she wouldn't have
then.
asked that now. Like Inez would never have been.
Yeah.
Because I think we've moved past the point of only asking women like,
Yeah,
when are you gonna
have
get
babies?
pregnant?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
would get crucified for
would.
even asking.
Yeah.
And
you
I
know?
liked that in the documentary, it seemed like Inez really
She learned her
loved,
lesson.
Like, but like she really loved Kat though.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was like,
she
yeah,
did.
that you know, she really
She was
looked
like,
up to
I was
her.
happy
And
she was almost glad that she said that. She was like, yeah, true, facts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I was like that. And of course, she got like such bad backlash and called a bitch and called all these things because she was sticking up for herself. Because I feel like that's just a common stereotype for women in like early 2000s, 2010 is like the second you kind of have a backbone is like you're a bitch, you're hard to work with,
Yeah.
you're this, you're that.
Yeah. You
I
can't
agree.
stand up for yourself.
Or should we do our final grades and then we can do our castings?
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
let's do that.
I wanted to
Or is
say
there any other
a
points
shout
you
out
want to make?
to all the music. There was a shit
Yes,
ton
the
of
last
Taylor
time I
music.
gave everybody.
The last time I
The
gave
last
everybody. They were listening to Taylor Swift.
I
The
texted
Red
Kelly.
album was like a
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
capsule.
I was like, did you
2012.
What a
Promiscuous
great
song,
promiscuous
yes.
moment too, by the way. Like it was playing in my head.
When she said that her and Bella started skating to a song that said traffic lights and busy streets,
Yeah.
I was like, are they listening to State of Grace? And
Yeah.
then they said that they're listening to the Red album.
Yeah,
And
hilarious.
I was like, oh, and then Gary Lightbody.
Yeah,
Wow.
the music
This is
throughout the whole
the
book, like
last
shout out to the
Yes,
shout out to
so
what's her
good.
face? What's it, Layne?
Layne Fargo.
Layne Fargo. Shout out to her. She must be like my age because I feel like the music that she chose throughout that time is like, was exactly
the whole playlist.
spot on.
There's a long list of songs in the end of the book as well.
yeah?
It's a playlist.
Oh, okay.
And it matches to each part of the book. So like part 1 has
Got it.
15 different songs. Part 2 is it's actually a
She's
Yeah,
42.
that's really cool.
She's 42.
It's a good playlist for sure. That was
Oh, good. I've got to
included.
save it because
Yeah.
I really like anytime she mentioned the music, I was like, oh yeah, that's fitting. And then especially when they started getting more modern and less like Bach's interpretation of whatever,
Yeah.
when it was a little more stuffy.
Yeah,
I thought she
less Beethoven, more
Yes.
Madonna.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Nelly Furtado.
Yeah,
That was
that was
the
so
YouTube
good.
edit. I was like, damn, is this like what they did for
So
TikTok?
funny.
Like for
Yeah.
TikTok edits, they were making
Yes.
YouTube edits.
They did.
Honestly,
That is
the
what they were
one
doing.
thing that I could not stop thinking about was during the Sochi Olympics. I was thinking, damn, there must have been hella drama at the Sochi Olympics because Ilya and Shane are out there playing each other on the ice.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Cat and Heath are going crazy.
Yeah.
Like they had a pack.
So
A lot was
funny.
happening at the rink.
Yeah,
That
they
is
had a-
so funny.
The
Combining
spectators of the
universes.
Sochi Olympics had a lot of drama to deal with
That's
because they got the
hilarious.
captains of the USA versus Russia going against, or Canada and Russia going
Canada and
against each
Russia,
other, and now
yeah.
they got
That's
Cat and
so
Heath
funny.
skating.
That's
There
hilarious.
was one part where I thought was so funny when Franny decided to go by Francesca.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I had
yeah.
to make a mental note of that. I was like, and Franny grew up and decided to go by
Yeah,
Francesca.
yeah. Franny was like, I'm fucking done with this
Yeah.
shit. I'm
Francesca's like,
Francesca.
I've been Francesca my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She goes by- yeah, I thought that was funny too.
Yeah,
I
that
laughed
was.
at that. I was like, typical.
Yeah.
Classic.
Take me seriously.
Yeah. I'm a serious dancer. Just gonna crack open a quick Pepsi while we continue here because the Pepsi Prebiotic Cola is so delicious. Comes in 2 flavors. I have the cherry vanilla. It's also the original cola. I think we're all drinking the cherry vanilla. The cherry vanilla is scrumdiddlyumptious.
So good.
It's so good. You get that same great Pepsi taste but now with even more to love. No artificial sweeteners, only 5 grams of sugar, just 30 calories, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. So you get that Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. It's unbelievably Pepsi. You get that same Pepsi taste. I think, Kelly cracked hers open before I
Immediately.
even started. She
It was put into my hand and I immediately
I
cracked
have
it.
to drink one of these bad boys. We'll take a little sip.
It's my fave. My fave flavor, the cherry
It
vanilla.
really
I love
is.
It's so good.
It's like it's just a little treat in the can. It's just absolutely delicious. And it's great for when you're sitting down with your book, you crack it open, you're getting comfy on the couch. Maybe you have whatever, a hardcover, Kindle, whatever, earbuds. You're listening to the book via audio, but you're getting cozy, nice blanket, and a nice Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Ooh. It's just magic. It's delicious. The Pepsi Prebiotic Cola is available now, so go try it today. You're going to love it. I'm telling you, it's delicious. Who wants to go first for their grade?
I'll go
Brianna,
first.
go ahead.
I'll give it a 4.1.
Okay.
Because I think I rated Heart the Lover maybe like a 3.9 or a 3.8. And now looking back, I maybe would have went a little lower so that I could have given this one a 3.9. But because I liked it more than that, I'm going to give it a 4.1.
So fair. Now I got to remember.
You know what I mean? Because I think I would be giving it more of a 3.9.
Yeah.
But I liked it more than Heart the Lover, so I'm going to have to go higher. So,
Yeah.
Let's
or
see.
actually, yeah,
Yeah.
4.1 I'll go. I liked it a lot, so.
I'm gonna go. I forget what I gave the last book, Rebecca Yarros. Like a 3. I think I gave it like a 3
Yeah,
on the nose.
I just saw the Instagram. That was where the last letter, Kelly, you were a 3, Bria was a 2.7, Gia was a 2.5, and I was a 2
Oh, okay.
for last letter.
What about the? Oh, right. I'm gonna go like 3.5. Not because I didn't enjoy myself while reading it. I just think that this isn't my like genre or my type of book. Like it was fine. Like I just I felt like I was saying this in our chat before. Like maybe I need to rework how I'm reading these kinds of books because all I'm doing is just like making guesses about what's to happen and I'm always right. And I am not saying that in a way of like, oh, I'm always right. But it's maybe I'm getting in my own way and it's like preventing me from enjoying it as much. Like when something happens, I'm like, oh, fucking course it did. Like I don't know why I am like that while reading this book.
But do you think it's interesting because then it's like, do you expect to be surprised every time you pick up a book? Like every time you read a book?
When I hear that there's going to be twists, I do.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody was like, oh my God, the twists are so good. Like this book's crazy. And I feel like every book that we've read so far has been like, there's twists, except for maybe Heart the Lover. They didn't say that.
This one felt like less twisty to me.
Yeah. But
I mean,
but
that's a crazy thing to say.
guess
There were a lot of twists. But just my jaw wasn't on the floor.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, they're just.
I liked it. It was like, ooh, this is good drama.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like
I didn't mind
not the
drama.
most shocking thing.
Obstacles were being thrown at them
Yes.
at every turn.
The drama certainly did the heavy lifting for me, but in terms of like the characters, like I had a lot of beef with the characters. I didn't really like how they conducted themselves a lot, and I just I think this is not my style of book, and I think that's okay.
Yeah,
but so what did I say? Like a 3.5.
Yeah,
I'll give it a 3.5.
I'm gonna go 4.25. I love this book. I thought it was great. I loved how it picked off from chapter 1. We talked about that last episode, how there was just drama from the get-go, which I always like. I really love just an unlikable female character. I love when a woman prioritizes herself and her goals and what she wants.
Women in male fields.
Oh, exactly. Women in male-dominated fields. Yeah. Love that. I liked the back and forth with her and Heath. I didn't love the ending, so I think that's why I'm deducting some points.
Yeah.
But I thought all of the character dynamics, the relationships were just so interesting to see like how they turn out and who's really the bad guy, who's really at fault here. It's all just it's up to your own interpretation, which I enjoyed. And always good with the Taylor Swift shout out as well.
True, that was a big heavy. That bumped it up a 0.5 for me. I was about to give it a 3.
I really enjoyed this book. This, like we said last time, like the last letter, I would not recommend to anyone ever. This book, I would totally recommend to any of my friends.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like,
Agreed,
hey, if
agreed.
you want a quick, fun read, pick up this book.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I agree. I'm kind of torn. I'm like, because what I always do is I end up comparing it to the last few books that I read, you know? And Project Hail Mary is the one that I finished before that, and that was a 5-star book for me.
Yeah.
So I have like a little, I have a
Totally
5-star,
different.
I have a
So,
5-star
yeah.
fatigue.
Sure.
Where it's like when you read a 5-star, you're just like chasing that high again.
Totally. Totally.
And so I don't want to be harsh on it because I did enjoy it. But then I'm like, oh, I gave Assassin's Blade a 4, and this one wasn't like I didn't quite. So I'm gonna say 3.8.
Ooh.
Okay.
I was gonna maybe say
That's good.
3.75 just to keep it sort of like in those increments.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I
3.8.
always like to kind of stay within when you're rating on the apps. You can't
Yeah.
really do all the
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
But I'll say 3.8 because I did really enjoy it. I felt like I flew through the first half almost a little faster than the second half, which is weird because
agree. I like the first half better.
I don't know. I think I kind
was-
of liked the first half more. The second half, just the ending kind of lost me a little bit, and I think I am just being
Oh, so
particular.
you like Cat on her come up, just like she said.
Wow.
Yeah, so you like it when she's
No.
beaten and broken.
It was more so I wanted no I get but here's my it's more so I wanted the second half to be like she's at the fucking top and she's
Yeah.
being respected.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
wow,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was my
Mine
I
too,
was
like,
striving for her to fucking win the
Yeah.
gold. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
give her what she deserves.
Yeah, yeah.
And it never really came, and I didn't love that, which
Yeah.
is it's fair and it's fitting and it's
Yeah.
a,
I was gonna
it's
say,
also
it's kind of
It's
reality.
appropriate
Yeah.
for it's appropriate for reality.
Yeah.
But in my reality, I was like, put her on the top of the fucking podium.
Same, same. Like, it
You
really
know?
just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm with you, friend.
So
Something about the.
so that's where I'm at with that.
If Heath had
yeah.
died on the ice, I think my rating would have been way lower.
Way lower.
Yeah, yeah.
1,000. Oh my
1,000%.
God.
I
Yeah,
think mine
yeah.
would have been way higher. Yeah. It would have been like, finally.
No, oh my God. If he died on the ice, I'd been like,
Well, it would have been true to
really,
Wuthering
come on.
Heights.
It
It would have been
that's
true to
not
Wuthering
even
Heights.
ruined skating for her.
Yeah,
like,
it would have
everything.
been
Well, it
way
was
too
already
much
your last
Wuthering
To be
Heights.
able to
though.
never look at
True,
ice
true.
again.
Because it's like
Yeah.
at one
But they
point I
went-
saw
but they
someone
went-
comment on Fable like, "What? At one point does the Bronte estate not sue? Like it's like
No, literally. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if she went that Wuthering Heights with it, you got to go 100%. Don't go 95 and
Yeah.
not kill somebody off.
No,
Like,
I know, which
was
is why I
waiting
think
for a
she
death.
went. She went just enough where it was.
Yeah.
The names, of course, were very similar.
Very
I think the added sense of betrayal around every turn, the
heights.
like the crazy intense detrimental love, like all the themes were all there without having them die. Which
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I'm down for them not dying.
okay with
too.
no death.
Yeah, we had a lot of death in
Sheila
the other
died.
ones.
Yeah, Sheila
Sheila
died.
died, yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Sheila.
I'm down
I guess,
for,
yeah,
I'm down for not
Sheila.
having a lot of
But
death.
so did Kat's dad, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like we still
Right.
have that parallel.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
And Lee.
Okay,
And Lee.
can I get?
Yeah.
And Lee and
Yeah, and Lee.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do our castings.
Oh, yeah.
yay.
Okay.
I only have 3.
Okay, so I have a bunch, but I'm open to suggestions. I went down a rabbit hole for
Yeah.
for
How
a
about
lot.
you start it off and we'll throw suggestions.
Okay.
We could play
I
like
actually
that.
have 4.
Okay.
I just remembered another.
So let's save Cat and Heath till the end then.
Okay.
Okay. So I think we can all unanimously say that if the only one playing Alistine is Johnny Ware, like
It's
cast
Johnny Ware.
him.
No
Yeah.
doubt about
It's
it.
Johnny Ware.
Who's like a young?
I don't know. He's just the
sassy
one.
I'm
gay.
gonna say Coleman Domingo.
Okay, love
Wow.
that.
Okay.
Oh,
If not
He
for
might be too old
He's
though.
so yeah.
but Johnny Weir
Yeah, Johnny
and
Weir's
Coleman
too old.
Domingo
Yeah,
are
they're
like
probably
the
around
same age.
Oh, are
he just
they?
he just Johnny Ware just has a youthful complexion.
Yeah.
True.
But I feel like it needs to be
Coleman
someone
Domingo
that like.
young. I don't
Yeah.
know. He's 56. I don't know if Johnny Weir's that old. I think Johnny Weir's
No,
only
Johnny-
in his
no,
low
Johnny Weir's
40s.
30.
Gotta be maybe.
No, he's
40.
in his 40s for
Oh,
sure.
okay.
But I
Yeah.
don't know if he's.
Okay, well,
He's
if I'm
41. Johnny
Anyways.
Weir's only 41.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
wishful thinking.
No, I.
It would be
No,
cool.
if- no,
cool
that
spin
is a
on
good
it.
idea.
I do
I
like
do
that.
Such a shocking.
My shock was solely because of the age.
Because he's old. Yeah. I mean,
But
he's not old. He's not
I-
old for that role.
Totally like that.
Yeah.
My thought for Ellis was I'm forgetting his name, but he's in Agatha All Along.
Oh, I love that
Joe
kid.
Locke.
Joe Locke is great.
He's in Heartstoppers.
yeah, he's cute.
He plays opposite Kit Connor, and he's really cute and young and
Yeah.
gay.
Well, yeah, young and
Yeah.
gay.
Specifically
Yeah.
young
Yeah,
after I said Coleman
yeah,
Domingo.
Well, it's so interesting. This is actually a tough movie.
like
Picture Coleman,
geriatric, like Coleman Domingo.
younger.
But
younger
it's a,
Coleman Domingo.
it's a
agree.
tough movie to cast. I mean, it's a tough story to cast because
Because
it's also like,
Spans.
when is the documentary? Like, how many years have passed since they make this documentary? I don't know if we know.
I think they say, but I can't remember.
I don't know if I remember either.
Because it's
Can't
like by the
either,
time she's like a
Because you know what I'm
coach.
saying? Like, if it cuts to them
Well, think
filming the
about-
documentary,
think
are they
about Heath
I
feel like they're
talking to the
older.
child. Remember,
But they're
Heath
not.
is
There's
talking
not
to
that many scenes of them in that. Like in my mind, this movie is predominantly them in their 20s.
Think about it at the end when he
Yes.
If this
talks
was
to
to be a
his
movie.
daughter
documentary
and
is
she
them
says, "I want to
older."
get on
Yeah.
the skate. I want to get on the ice and skate." So their kid has to be at least 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
When the documentary comes out at the end, remember? It's
Right,
like
right.
They're overhearing the other girls
Yeah,
like
the
going
big-
out
the
on
kids
the thing.
really
not
Aren't
that
they
young.
like in their 40s when?
No.
I think like late.
No, they
they're like
stopped
30s.
skating, and I think that Heath's about to be 30 or something.
Yeah,
and that's
something like
old.
that.
They're like old as
I think
dirt
they're like
on the
late
stage.
20s, early 30s. Maybe is that late 20s
Yeah.
at that last Olympics? I
Yeah.
think they were like
Yeah,
this
no,
definitely.
yeah, at the
So
Olympics.
I'm saying, but Bella's pregnant then.
Right.
So it's like
I'm
if
saying,
the kid's
I-
5, 6, they're
I
still
would
in
say
their
at
30s.
least, at least
Yeah,
5
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I would say.
I would say
it's in
early
the
Probably the
30s.
rest of them are still in their 30s.
Yeah.
So it's not great. Like,
No.
I don't even know if in that sense then that you need to cast an older person. I think the only thing that they would need to do is cast young versions of Cat and Heath.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
when the documentary on her and Heath is released, Kat is in her 40s.
Oh.
So the kid must be older than that, older
Yeah,
than 5 or
yeah.
6. I only said that because in my head I'm like, how young can you be before you're skating? And I would assume like if that's around the age. So the kid must have been like 10 years old when she's like, Daddy,
Yeah,
I
apparently when
wanna
the
go on."
documentary comes out, they're in their 40s.
Oh, okay.
I don't recall.
Yeah, me neither.
Smooth they do.
That's okay.
I was a little iffy on the timelines.
Yeah.
I think it was confusing.
Yeah.
yeah, it was confusing for sure.
Well, maybe it's literally parallel with time in real life. Like
Yeah.
if they were 30 in
I think
2010,
that's what
they
it
would
was
have been
because they said something about like
2026 or
2025,
whatever time.
2026 season or something like that.
So it must
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
like
Right,
the
it was like the
documentary is
documentary's
present
happening
day,
present
and
day.
then they're reflecting
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
past.
yeah.
Yeah, that must be
makes
it.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
For Sheila, I went Gemma Chan.
Fran, me too. Not a joke.
Really?
Yes.
I just think perfect.
I think she after
Yeah.
her in Don't Worry Darling. I love her
Yeah.
in general,
Yeah.
but
I
she
love
was
her
Don't Worry
too.
Darling was kind of like a seat, in a way where I was like, ooh, she could play
That's
evil.
a really
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
I like that
just-
pick.
Yeah.
I went Michelle Yeoh.
That's good too. I think. Well, I would say
I'm
she's
not going
too
to say
old.
this is.
I would say she's too old.
I'm picking a lot of older.
but it's like
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay.
She could be older. She could be
She's-
older as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I pictured Sheila to be like, I
Yeah.
feel like Sheila could be older.
Yeah.
Us too.
She could be older. I would like an older looking
She had
Gemma Chan.
she had her kids when she was 20.
Yeah.
I was picturing Laurel.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From Summer
I
Acting
just
Pretty.
feel like Laurel's like too
Oh,
sweet.
yeah.
She has a too nice of
Yeah,
a face.
she does.
Yeah. But
I felt
yeah.
like Sheila needs like
that's a common theme in my casting also.
like a
lot
little
Summer
bit of
Acting
a
Pretty.
mystery to like a little bit of a mystery to her, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Totally agree. And,
Yeah.
and I think that
No, Gemma Chan's
her
perfect.
face just
that's a
doesn't.
really good
her
one.
face like really doesn't move in a way that I would expect Sheila's face not to
Right,
move.
like some
just-
sort of harsh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did we think for Bella and Garrett?
Can I give my Bella? Because
Yeah.
you guys, I don't even know if you'll know who this is.
Yeah, that's where I was.
I'm
at with
having a
mine,
hard
too.
time, like even thinking of like, honestly, younger Asian cast. But in my head, she's also very small and like, but a little threatening and scary. And that I feel like that combo is really hard to find. Do you guys know Bella Porch from TikTok?
yes.
That's who I think would be good at that. Like I think she'd sneaky be a good Bella. Like you know, she doesn't have to act a whole lot. I don't know what her acting is like.
Yeah, that is
But I
another
imagine
hysterical
like she like
casting.
looks really
Yeah.
young. Yes, literally that.
Yeah,
Literally that.
yeah.
But she like looks really, really young.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but she does cosplay stuff. So she has like kind of like she makes like kind of scary videos too.
Right,
so in my head I'm
right,
like,
right.
you could be both sides of that coin where you like look non-threatening, but in reality you kind of are.
Yeah.
So she came to my mind.
Yeah,
I could see that. I don't even want to say who I'm casting at this point. I mean, I was gonna go to Garrett. Like
Wait,
this
can I
isn't
take a guess on like
who I was gonna pick for Garrett?
For Garrett or for,
No,
for
no,
Bella?
Bella? Honestly, Laurel might have been your pick for Bella.
right.
For the way you're casting this age group.
I need to know.
No, I kind of was like jumping back and forth for Bella, and I had more of like a steady picking for Garrett.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
come back to me for
Okay,
Garrett.
okay. Gia, who are yours?
Mine for Bella is Minnie Mills from Summer Acting Pretty. She played Shayla.
Yes.
Remember her?
Yes.
Yeah, in the
Yep.
earlier season.
That's a good
Shayla.
one.
I think
Oh,
that should be
she's
perfect.
great.
Yeah, she's
Because
a good one.
she also kind of played like the
a
rich
mean
girl, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Ooh, good one.
That's a good one.
Originally, I saw people discussing Lana Condor, but I just felt like she was like too nice.
she's too nice.
Yeah.
It seems
Agreed.
like
To do this.
Agreed.
And then going hand in hand with that, Garrett is Sean Kaufman for me, who's
Right.
Steven.
Steven.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
one too.
Yeah.
You could see them. Don't
Yeah.
they date in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
do they?
But
Whatever.
have them be
They could be
siblings.
siblings.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
Siblings are dating. Ice skating edition.
I had mine's a
They
little
have to
old
be-
maybe
they
for
have to
Garrett.
have a connection on the
mine's
ice.
a little older than that. Actually, not too much older. but
okay.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
Who,
I was
do,
so-
do you have the same?
Fair.
Now I'm wondering if we have the same Garrett.
Okay. Who? So my Bella was Yerin Ha, Bridgerton. She played Sophie in the new season of Bridgerton.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Good choice.
She's just in my
Yes.
mind because
Yeah.
I just watched
But
Bridgerton.
she would be really good too
But
because she's got that like
yeah, like she's
flip-flop.
really yes,
Yeah, yeah.
she's stunning, and I could see that. And then I was kind of all over the place for Garrett. At first, I was like Charles Melton.
That's what I said.
Oh my God,
that's what I
yeah,
have. Okay,
yeah.
so a little older,
But
I
yeah,
guess.
older,
but
but
then
not
I
too
like
much
I
older,
had
Charles
Charles
Melton.
Charles Melton is what at my age. Like
Yeah,
how old is
he's
Charles
not that
Melton? You know,
old.
and which I didn't. But then I kind of. I don't know. I didn't know if I necessarily love that too because I'm like, then they're playing twins, which is
You know what though?
But they're not,
I was
obviously
thinking
they're not,
about
like they don't have to look
Garrett.
exactly
Yeah.
the same.
Only not. I wasn't thinking about casting Garrett as like a young ice dance star. I was
Yeah.
casting Garrett only based on his like interviews, and
Yeah,
so
so
I was like
true.
Charles Melton would be so good at that documentary.
This is such a niche one, and it's really because I watch all these TV shows, but on 911 on Fox,
yeah.
which I have not watched as much as I used to. There is a young actor that plays like the brother of one of the main guys, and his name is John Harlan Kim. Just give that a quick Google search.
Before I even Google, there's someone in my brain that I've been trying to figure out who he is for, I swear to God, months. Like this exact
Ooh,
person.
yeah,
And
good.
I'm like
Yeah.
almost praying it's him. That
And-
you're,
and so-
say his name. Show me.
John Harlan Kim.
Oh no, that's not him. But I do recognize him too.
And I'm like,
Yes.
That works
I
for
just
sure.
I liked this casting because
Yeah.
I think him and
Kim.
him and my Bella
Definitely.
give
Yeah.
twins.
and he's
Yeah.
more muscular.
Totally.
Like Sean Kaufman, like kind of gives skinny vibes.
yeah,
Totally.
yeah,
Yeah.
They did kind of make it seem like Garrett was a little lanky.
Yeah,
though,
they
didn't
did. They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they kept saying how tall he was too tall for
Yeah.
Bella.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So
there's
then-
a guy that I can't figure out. No, just forget it.
So
I just-
so then Rhea, I think we're just missing who your Bella was, right?
Yes. I'll go Lola Tongue
Okay,
Nice.
I like that
because
one.
I would like to see
Yeah.
her in a role
Or she's not.
where she's because like she can have a little like sass to her in the Summer
Totally.
I Turn Pretty.
Well, did you see
Totally.
and
that
now she's gonna be
new-
in Forbidden Fruits.
Yes.
and I
100%
feel
on Rotten
like
Tomatoes. Is that
maybe,
real?
yeah. I don't know. I think it just came out. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
maybe she has a little bit.
I like that.
Little sassy
I think
side.
it just
Yeah.
said like it debuted at it just
I
came
saw
out.
that Kelly on Twitter.
Was
yeah.
that real or not? I just
I don't
never
think
And I
it's
do
come out,
feel
but,
like Lola
initial
Tongue and
reviews.
Charles Melton
I
would be a
I
good
think they
like
play great twins.
would play great twins together.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Okay. I know there's like a lot of other characters, but I was like not
No,
going to go
yeah,
too
yeah.
intense.
The
Those are
main,
really
the
what's
main.
main.
No.
So Cat and Heath.
I've got Heath. Or I'm sorry, I've got Cat. I don't have Heath. I really could not think of
Yeah.
someone for Heath, and it's really struggling. Like I'm gonna have to keep my eyes peeled
Okay.
for somebody in the future.
So I'm
'cause
gonna
I
give
can't.
mine.
So give your Heath.
And I know that there was a lot of like we were talking about this before. We said, you know, they don't give you a lot of direction on Heath's background, which is on purpose, obviously.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's very reminiscent of the conversations around Wuthering Heights.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe because I've been seeing his face all the time because he's promoting that movie right now. But I said Tyreek Withers.
I don't know. Do I know who that is?
Yes.
Who that
Wow.
in the
He is everywhere right
He
now.
is everywhere right now.
gotta see.
And I feel like he kind of gives somebody that is strong and like wouldn't
Tyreek
maybe like
Withers.
wouldn't be a natural skater, but like
Yeah.
would go to Russia and get beat.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I know.
That's really good.
I know you did last summer. Oh, and Tell Me Lies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he was.
And I think it's because I
in
just
Summer.
see the commercial for what is
Reminders
it now?
of Him.
Reminders of Him that's
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
like
Isn't it
all the time.
so funny how he did the movie called Him, and now he's doing reminders of him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
He is everywhere
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, he
That
is.
is a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
I was
Really good
thinking
one.
maybe, and I never can pronounce his name correctly, and it's so bad. Avon Jogia.
yeah.
Love him.
Avon
That's a good
Jogia.
one.
He
Yeah.
was just
Who's he
in
there? Who's that?
56
50
Days.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which I feel like he's like
Victorious. He dates Halsey.
he's coming back. Like
Yeah.
I think they're like married now.
Oh, they
him
might
and
be
Or
married.
they're engaged.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
feel like he's making like a comeback.
Yeah,
like he,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
especially
Oh,
with
this
56
guy.
Days.
Oh, I didn't know that was his name.
Yeah.
Great.
Ooh, I like that.
I
I
thought that
like
was really
yeah,
good.
Yeah, that's a good
and
one.
then for
I really like that one.
Cat, I had a couple people, but Mikey Madison, I thought would have been a good
Ooh.
one.
That could be good.
For
Yeah.
I like
Cat.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, maybe like a Madeline Klein.
Yeah, right. Because I envisioned her. Did they say if she's blonde? She's blonde, yeah.
I think so. Yes, because
I don't
remember
know. I
she
think
does-
I was just going over, like,
she
traditional
gets like a
Wuthering
makeover
Heights.
when Heath disappears. She like dyes her hair like platinum blonde.
Right,
I'm pretty
or
sure she
something.
like
Yeah, yeah,
or like
yeah.
goes
Yeah.
fully blonde.
Hey,
or
anybody could
something.
dye their hair though. So
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
I think like I was thinking like Mikey
Or a wig.
Madison, Madeline Klein.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
For Heath, I have two. My first one was Taylor Zachar Perez.
Oh, okay.
From,
From Red, White, Red.
Throwback.
Love that
That's a
one.
really,
okay.
that's a
We
really good
interviewed
one.
him so long
Yeah,
ago
yeah,
yeah.
when it was
Such a nice
yeah,
guy.
he
So
was.
handsome.
That's a really good.
That's a good one.
I like
And
that
then
one the best, I think.
I also have a niche one. He was the star of Blue Beetle, the DC movie Blue Beetle. His name's
don't know
Sholo
that.
Mariduena. Super handsome guy.
Oh, I can see that.
He's like up and coming actor, but he was really really good in Blue Beetle, and I had a crush on him ever since. So
Cute.
he's up there for me too. And then my cat, I have 3. I have Catherine Newton,
Yeah.
Dove Cameron,
Yeah.
Dove
or
Cameron.
Sadie
Dove
Sink.
Cameron. Yeah.
But Sadie Sink's
I
very
debated
maybe.
Dove Cameron.
Yeah, maybe
Honestly,
Sadie.
Dove Cameron and Avon Jogia.
Yeah, they're right.
together.
They're in that
right,
show.
right.
Yeah.
They do have.
Catherine Newton, I think, is a fantastic pick.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah. Like I
yeah.
think
She
she
was
gives,
so
she
good in the
gives, like,
society.
Yeah, I love
and
that.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe Sadie Sink for like Francesca or someone.
Yeah.
Kate,
Yeah.
what's her face? Cat Newton. What did you say?
Catherine
Catherine
Newton and
Newton.
Dove
From the
Cameron.
Society reminds me of the girl I have for Cat, Emma Myers, who plays Enid on Wednesday, the werewolf girl.
Oh, love. That's
yeah,
a good
yeah.
And
one.
in my head, though, I was like, she could dye her hair, but if she's already blonde, then she can't
Yeah.
be blonde. But she has, I think, an intensity behind her. Like, I love her on that
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
I think that the acting on that show is fantastic. But I think that she has like she can like really work herself up like in the eyes a
Yeah.
lot, and I feel like Kat would have that kind of intensity. Like
Yeah,
just be like a
right.
snappy bitch, or like also get emotional. I feel like she'd be good like that.
So my cat, I was kind of torn. I went both ways. Like I went with somebody who I think could just like be gorgeous on the ice. And I also remember they kept saying that the two of them were like the same height.
Yeah.
Which made me think that she was taller.
She always said that she was taller and like
Yeah,
more full
yeah.
and like.
So my gut
Bella,
thought, my
right?
gut thought
Then
was
just like the normal
then
girl
like the
becomes-
normal
yeah.
the normal like
Yeah.
malnourished ice
Yes,
skater.
exactly. Yeah. Right.
So my first immediate thought was Elle Fanning.
Love.
That's a good. That could be good.
And
Yeah.
then I
She too
thought
tall,
about it
maybe?
again. Then I thought maybe too tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this girl I think is actually very short. But my other pick was Millie Alcock.
Oh,
good
yeah,
one.
good
I feel like
friend.
she's kind of like she's got that edge to her.
Yeah,
Totally.
for
See her in
sure.
House of
Totally.
Dragon. She's got the edge. She's about to
Yeah.
be Supergirl. Like that's
Yeah.
like that kind of
Even
character.
in the
Absolutely.
movie that the
Yeah.
show that we both like, Sirens.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like she had.
Yes.
Loved
Yes.
her in
Some
that.
grit to
She
her.
was- exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For
So I
sure.
felt like maybe she would be great in this one too.
That's
So
a
those are
great one.
those are. I think those are. Did everyone go? Everyone cast?
Yes, that's all my
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
What about one quick last one? Milo Manheim for Heath as well. He gives
he's
me
white. He's white.
He gives me to yeah, but I don't know. I feel like he's dark though. Like
No,
darker.
he's
white.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I will shoot you down on that one.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
pretty-
white.
Yes. In my head, because he's going to be Flynn Rider, and Flynn Rider
Flynn
and
Rider's
Flynn
white.
Rider's wrong. Wait.
no, I know, but Taylor, what's his face? I always thought would be a good Flynn Rider as well, and I just kind of thought that's the only reason why I thought of Milo. They
Yeah,
remind me
yeah.
of each other. Taylor, what's his face?
No,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
They definitely look alike for sure.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yes,
That's why I
definitely.
said
But
it.
I think
Both handsome men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they definitely are. I think you would definitely. Yeah, I don't know if he falls into that category. I'm like,
They described him as like ethnically ambiguous.
Yeah, right. Which
Or
I don't-
like he
yeah.
gets mistaken for
Mistaken
being
for-
ethnically ambiguous all the time. Whatever.
like,
I
oh,
guess.
I thought you were this, or I
Yeah,
thought you
yeah,
were that.
yeah, yeah.
You know, but people say that shit all the time. Kelly's like,
I guess
great.
me and Emma Fennel. We'll just go hang out.
You know, Kelly goes, actually,
I'm gonna whitewash
This
this
is
cat.
actually my interpretation.
Yes,
So
actually,
Kel-
I envisioned him.
Kelly's
so
gonna end the
you guys
conversation
can-
saying, actually, you know who I think would be really good? Heath, Jacob Elordi.
I would love that. I would love
You guys
that.
thought about that one? Yeah.
I'm looking him up.
But all right, so I think we're on the right track. I think everybody, for the most part, enjoyed this book. We are going to make a little shift because we want to do thriller, some sort of thriller next. We've seen you guys on Fable. If you're not in the Fable group, join it. We've seen you guys discussing on Fable book recs and things, and we've seen a bunch of people suggesting doing something in the thriller genre next.
Yes, please.
And Rhea's been dying to read this one,
Yes.
and I think it looks great. So, Rhea, what is the book?
My husband's wife.
Yes.
Very, very excited.
It's Alice Feeney or no? Yes, it is Alice Feeney.
The,
Yes.
the
Okay.
title even makes me go,
Right.
Right,
and
right.
I believe it.
What do you mean by
What
that?
do you mean your
Yeah.
husband's
Yeah,
wife?
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
you?
What about? Yeah. What about her?
I hope it is.
I believe it just came out. in
Yeah, I think-
January.
yeah,
Yes,
the
the end of
end of
January.
January.
So it's a
Nice.
new one.
Yeah,
Great.
okay.
So maybe not a lot of people have read it yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't tell me
so-
anything about it.
Yep. Don't
No,
tell
I don't
me
know a
anything.
single
I'm very
thing.
excited.
yeah.
I'm
Except
very
Thriller and Alice Feeney, I know people love.
Yeah, and there's some Scotland involved, I think, as well.
Oh, hell yes.
Love,
Oh,
love,
hell
love,
yeah.
love.
Yes, yes.
And that's where you can have a proper murder.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I'm very
Has
excited
to.
for this one.
Love it. Okay, guys, thank you all so much. Once again, as a reminder, make sure you're watching, and you can watch on YouTube. You can listen. If you're listening, subscribe. Give us 5 stars. Be so nice. Or join the book club. And you can follow us on Instagram at Same Page Book Club to see all the updates of the books we're posting, when we're stopping. All those details are on social. And join our Fable group. You can find us on
Yes.
Fable, the Same Page Book Club. Love seeing everybody's thoughts. You can discuss. It goes chapter by chapter. So if you read a chapter and you're like, oh my God, I need to get my thoughts out, it's amazing. You can go right in and just put your thoughts in and have other people chime in. So it's a lot of fun. And we'll be back the first week of April, or the second week of April, the second week of April for part 1 of My Husband's Wife.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.